On this episode of UTR, it's a state park spectacular, where we show you a cool chair that makes fun possible for all, an outdoorpreneur who serves up great burgers, and some talented folks who turn parks into art. We'll even take you to a tasty trail-to-table dinner. Get ready to explore the cool people, places, and things that make Michigan State Parks the best places to play.
A visit to the Stalls Automotive Museum will take you back to a time when cars were more than just a way to get around. In addition to beautiful cars, enjoy the collection of gas pumps, road signs, oil cans, and other car-related accessories. Info at stallsauto.com. There's something special about the pride, the skill, and the passion it takes to build something great. The Construction Association of Michigan, CAM, understands that passion and has been providing contractors with the resources they need since 1885.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. And the more I explore, the more I realize it's the place to be. I'm Tom Dalton, and this is Under the Radar, Michigan. You know, there are so many cool and innovative things happening at Michigan State Parks right now that it's kind of hard to wrap your head around them. So we're going to make it simple. We're going to take 4 cool things and wrap this show around them. I figure that should get us started, right?
It's true. Michigan's DNR works hard all day, every day to make sure our parks are the best of the best. And all you have to do is visit one to see the evidence. That's why on this show, we're going to give a big high five to our own DNR for making our parks way above par. So grab everything you need for whatever it is you like to do outside, and well, let's get her going. But before we get started, let's set the scene with a quick talk about why our state parks are so stellar. And for that, I sat down with Jason Fleming from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources.
In your humble opinion, why are Michigan State Parks such an awesome place to be?
Well, I think that a lot of people, they have a connection with them. In some cases, it's family. The big part of what we do out here is we make memories. These facilities that are out here, they come year in, year out, generations for the last over 100 years. And so we see that in our camping, we see that out in our day use, we see people who come out and rent shelters, family reunions. There's a huge connection there. So it's not just being outdoors, it's being with people you connect with outdoors.
Right. Every time we do a state park special or we feature a state park, the response we get is overwhelming. The emails and the Facebook posts, just because people love their state park.
Well, I think a lot of that also is attributed, I'm going to say this to our staff too. I think they work really hard out here to make these places special for when people arrive, when it comes in, whether it's a busy beach on a weekend day or maybe it's something off the season in a time when there's not a lot of people around, but they're still able to connect with those and having those facilities open and clean. I think that's one of those things that gets often overlooked sometimes, the amount of time and effort that our people put into helping make that feeling special.
We've featured so many state parks on the show, but we've only scratched the surface. So we got a lot more to go. We need a guide. Are you with us?
Hey, I would be more than happy to help out, and we got a lot of great people who would love to show you what they have to offer out there in the parks. There's some really, really cool things that are out there. Some of it right above the surface and some of it a little bit below, but there's always a lot of great adventures that are right around the corner.
Maybe we should do a special just on state parks.
I think that's a great idea. I think let's do it.
Okay, I think we are doing it.
Well, now that you know why our parks are so popular with people, it's time to show you how the DNR is coming up with some creative ways to make them more accessible to everyone.
You know, for most of us, going pretty much anywhere we want to go is easy. But for those with physical challenges, it can be next to impossible. But when it comes to visiting Michigan State Parks, things just got a whole lot easier.
And that's because Kaylee Pung turned her own misfortune into an opportunity for others to explore the natural world around them. After suffering a life-altering event that rendered her a quadriplegic, Kaylee started the Kaylee's Cure Foundation. It's an organization that funds research and life-improving technologies for people with spinal cord injuries. And one such improvement is the Action Track Chair. Yep, thanks to the Kaylee's Cure Foundation, some of Michigan's state parks are now equipped with these incredible all-terrain wheelchairs. These things are extremely cool, and they come complete with tank-like tracks that'll get you almost anywhere in the park you want to go. Probably even to some places I can't get to. So to find out how it all happened, and to say a major thanks to all concerned, I walked and I talked with Mike Mumford from Kaylee's Cure.
You know, Mike, for a lot of people, doing something as simple as what we're doing right now is impossible. And thanks to the Kaylee Foundation, I mean, now people can explore the state parks.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me a little bit more about the foundation.
Well, Kaylee's Cure was started out of the tragedy of Kaylee's accident that caused her to become paralyzed, but due to, the circumstances of her family, that's some incredible people and a lot of other people that have supported her. She's been able to experience tremendous recovery in the form of technology that's in place in her body and things that have done, and she's decided to use those resources and her ability to lead people to try and help others with the same type of injuries that she has, and that's what the foundation is about.
Yeah, because her courage and her kindness are overwhelming. I mean, I don't know if I could be that strong. And the fact that she's helping the state parks get these action track chairs, I mean, that does so much for so many people. I've seen the chair in action, and it's amazing where that thing can go.
Yeah, and we learned of the chair through the foundation's involvement with military veterans. We first saw the chairs there and have given some to some veterans. And then when we were able to support the state parks, we were really happy to do that and work with them, and it's been a great partnership. And we've seen the chairs in action, and we're just very excited. I mean, we're a volunteer board that serves Kaylee, and we kind of do what she says. She's our boss and our leader, and she was very direct that we were able to work with the state in this way and applied accessibility to our state parks.
Well, for you working with the foundation, what does that feel like?
Well, it's awesome for me because Kaylee worked for me at the time of her injury. So, those first couple of weeks and months were horrible, but really days after the injury, I saw Kaylee in the hospital and I knew that she was still there. The same incredible woman that was my employee was still in there, and the work she's done with her foundation has just been phenomenal. I just say she's the same Kaylee, she's just stuck in a body that doesn't work.
Well, I can't thank you enough, and please tell Kaylee that we're just overwhelmed with what you guys are doing. So.
Thank you very much, and I know that she was bummed she couldn't be here, but we're certainly happy to support the DNR and the state parks in this way.
Awesome.
Well, there's no better way to find out how awesome the Action Track Chair is than to talk to someone who actually puts it through its paces. And that someone is Brian Wilkinson.
So is this your first time in the Action Track Chair?
I've been in a track chair. First time I came in contact with it was up at the Labor Day Bridge Run. I bumped into the Michigan Outdoor Mobility up there, and they let me take one for a spin. The first time I ever tried one, they said, take it over the curb, and I was like, what? And I hopped a curb with it. It was amazing what these chairs can do.
I was going to ask you what the experience is like, because it A, looks like a tank, and B, looks so cool, I want one. So what's it like?
It's pretty amazing. The footprint is so wide and deep that you can basically climb a lot of different styles of terrain with it, go in a place that I otherwise wouldn't be able to take it.
Well, you'll probably be able to get places I can't get to in this thing, which is good because you'll probably get tired of me after a while.
Probably.
Take it from Brian, this chair really is an amazing thing. So if you've been having some trouble with the terrain at your state park, give them a quick call, because they may have an Action Track Chair now. And if they do, I guarantee you'll have a natural blast.
Okay, now bear with me because I always have problems with this word. What do you call an entrepreneur who opens up a business outdoors inside of a state park? Simple, an outdoorpreneur. And guess what? I didn't make up that word. The DNR did.
Because the DNR loves it when creative and motivated people open new, fun, and unusual businesses right inside the park. And we traveled all the way to Taoist Point State Park on Lake Huron to feature one such business, the Taoist Point Grill. But first I have to say that this is a beautiful and very unique state park. It sits on a sandy peninsula that hooks way out into Taoist Bay with breathtaking views of the bay, East Taoist, and Lake Huron. And the lighthouse out here is spectacular. It's an absolute Michigan classic. And if you're looking for an awesome place to camp with the fam, this pleasant peninsula will please all your peeps, and even your pups. Anyway, getting back to the Taoist Point Grill, this is a cool, funky, family-owned little place that sits on the lakeside almost at the tip of the peninsula. It's got a laid-back, tropical kind of vibe, and the food is just what you need after a long day of play at the park. Or heck, you could just come out here and eat. Dean Trainer is the owner, chef, and yes, outdoorpreneur who makes awesome outdoor edibles all summer long.
You know, if I was going to be an outdoorpreneur, this is the place I'd do it. This is like a little slice of the tropics.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, your job doesn't suck.
No, it does not. It used to, but it don't no more. Not here.
Well, before we get to your food, which I snuck in here and tried a couple weeks ago, I think you saw me, this is quite an incredible state park.
Yes, it is. There's lots of trails, foot trails to go off to the point. This is a fantastic birding sanctuary. Anything that migrates, really, is going to pass through here.
And the fact that it's on a peninsula that juts way out into the water, so you've got on one side a beautiful view of the bay and East Taoist and Taoist. On the other side, you may as well be on the Pacific. This is beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, this is gorgeous. It is.
Now, what made you decide to become an outdoorpreneur in a state park?
This was my daughter's idea, actually.
Your daughter?
Yeah.
Our kids get us in trouble all the time.
Well, I know, but she just didn't want me driving truck no more, so I decided to do this. I've always wanted to cook. I've loved cooking, and so yeah, this is so much better.
And you're famous for, I guess you do your own ribs, your own pork butt?
Yes, yeah, which I have pork butt on the smoker right now. Got here a little after 5 this morning, made sure I got that going. I've got ribs going.
Well, what's neat is you've taken like beach food, you know, the little beach shack type food, you've taken it up quite a few notches.
Yeah, I did. I tried to do that. I mean, we have a dinner crowd that comes out.
Yeah.
And you can come on out and you can sit down. I mean, Burger King does not have this ambiance.
No,
you know, I mean, so I don't know how much more I can say to that.
I also love the fact that you're dog friendly. You can actually bring Fido out here and enjoy a meal with him.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we are kind of particular, though. As long as your dog's not chewing on anybody, come on in. No problem. We keep a water dish on the deck, you know. We're pet people.
What do you love about working in a state park like this?
Oh, it's just the people that you see and meet that are coming from all over the world. I mean, they signed the building. We've got people from Russia and Australia and Puerto Rico and Jerusalem. That's neat. Family memories. I took a picture of a family the other day at sunrise, right there by that birdhouse, and it was just perfect.
Oh, that's right. We're on the sunrise side.
You are. We are. Yes, the sunrise side.
Yeah, there's just something about sitting on a deck like this with that much water in front of you, enjoying a meal that you just, I mean, where else can you do that?
It's comforting.
I think it's really neat that the DNR is giving guys like you the chance to have businesses inside the parks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and they're great to work with. They really are. No complaints there.
Well, after me and Dean had a tremendous talk, he whipped us up a mess of mouth-watering Munchables. And his families frolicked. Me, the fellers, and even Teresa ate like pirates, all with the warm summer sun soothing our souls. This was perfect. So if you're looking for a new park to explore, check out the Taoist Point State Park. And if you're looking for a place to stick your toes in the sand, all while enjoying several savory summer selections, slide on into the Taoist Point Grill. Oh, and don't forget to look for where we signed UTR on the shack shutter. I didn't misspell it or nothing.
Now, plein air painting is the act of painting beautiful landscapes and scenes actually outdoors in nature. And the words plein air mean outdoors in French. Boy, if there was only a place like that in Michigan where we could do stuff like that.
Hello, we do. They're called state parks, and we have over 100 of them in all shapes, sizes, and locations. So if you want the best of Michigan's natural beauty, just pick one, get out your palette, and commence to painting. But if you want one with an iconic lighthouse on it, might I recommend the Holland State Park in, Holland. For a plein air painter, this place is paradise. Holland State Park has everything. It's got 142 acres of beautiful Lake Michigan beach, And as I previously mentioned, Big Red, a historic lighthouse that proudly stands on the south side of the Holland Channel. Now, before I get too much sand in my shoes, I thought I should sit down with Martha Elkert and Sharon Griffey's Tar and get a better idea of what the heck plein air painting is really all about.
So you guys are members of, now let me see if I get this right, GL Papa.
Yes.
Which is the Great Lakes Plein Air Painters Association.
Yes, right. Yeah.
How long has that been around?
We started in 1998 and been growing slowly, steadily over the years. And not only in the number of memberships, but also as far as programming and that too.
Is there an original plein air painter? Was there somebody that invented it, or somebody just didn't have enough money to rent a space, so?
It really started primarily with the Impressionists in France. And the reason being is that tubes of paint became available to artists. Up until then, they used to have to take pig splatters and make their own paint and put them into the bladders of a pig, And of course, you don't want to carry those around because they would be squished and broken. And so painting with oils anyway outside was just not something that most people could do.
Now, Marty, how long have you been plein air painting?
Oh, probably 6 years. I started out we lived in New Mexico, and I started doing plein air painting there, which is totally different than here.
Well, yeah, totally, yeah, you think? With the Great Lakes and everything. Well, you guys did a program with Michigan State Parks, correct?
We did. We partnered with the DNR this year for a program that we call Paint the Parks, and it's for the centennial of the Michigan State Parks.
Well, I can't think of a more beautiful place and natural place than the Michigan State Parks to do plein air painting. And
Yes,
the
it's been
terrains are so
perfect.
different. I mean, everything from the water with the lighthouses to the mountains, like up in Lake of the Clouds to Tequamanon Falls. I mean, there's so
Right.
many things you can paint.
That's one of the unique things about our organization versus some of the others that are in the state. Most of them are all local. And our idea in the beginning, and we are still building on that, is to paint the watershed of the Great Lakes. And so we travel all over.
Well, what are some of both the challenges and the joys of plein air painting? I know one of the challenges we're experiencing today, and that's the high winds.
The weather. The weather's always the challenge.
I've always said that the people in Michigan that paint outside, we are the true, what we call guerrilla painters, because we paint in anything. We're the hardy group.
Well, but what's the pleasure of painting?
Just being out in nature and being able to see what you're painting. And one of the things about, and I think it's why the Impressionists went out too, is because if you go out and you paint from nature, on location, from life, and it just makes you a better painter than in your studio. The other joy of it, I think, is being out around people, because we always have people coming by and stopping and talking to us.
I think in so many ways, too, it helps the public begin to understand that it can be more than just a hobby.
Right.
That it can be a career if you're interested in that.
I didn't even think about that aspect of it, that you're out. It gives you a chance to sort of show the world what you're doing and have them experience. Because where else can you walk up behind an artist and look over their shoulder
Exactly.
and watch and see what they're painting?
And people do seem to enjoy that.
Well, I just recently discovered I'm part French, so do you think I've got what it takes to be a plein air
There
painter?
you go. That's all you need. You just need a TAM.
And some talent.
Yeah. That helps.
Well, they say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, it's a good thing we've got two, because with parks as beautiful as Holland State Park, you'll need both of them. And it's also a good thing that we have talented plein air painters around to capture all of it for us.
So if you're an aspiring artist and you're tired of painting that same old bowl of fruit on the kitchen table, do some plein air painting at a Michigan State Park near you. Besides, at my house, somebody keeps eating all the fruit. That's so weird. Hey, have you ever been walking down the trail and suddenly you get hit with the urge for a multi-course gourmet meal and some Michigan-made beer? Well, guess what? Today's our lucky day.
That's right. While traversing the trails at Island Lake State Recreation Area in Brighton, I happened upon an absolutely awesome event that helped celebrate over 100 years of Michigan State Parks. It's called the Trail to Table Traveling Beer Dinner Series, and it's being put on by the Friends of Island Lake, the New Holland Brewing Company, and a host of other folks who love and support these great natural places. So after faking an ankle injury, I think they bought it, Adam Dickerson from New Holland Brewing Company invited me to stick around and find out more.
So who all is responsible for making this happen?
Sure. So it's a combination of New Holland, which is where I work, Merrill Shoes, REI Outfitters, and Pallet of Milford, and then the state parks, all of the DNR, Michigan DNR, celebrating their centennial anniversary. We met with them early on in the year now, 2019, probably January. We found out it was going to be their centennial anniversary and thought, well, let's figure out how to help them amplify this message. I mean, there's two things that we find Michiganders love most. It's beer and the outdoors. So we got the beer.
Hey, and I'm outdoors, so
yeah,
hand over the beer. So do the people, when they go out on the trail, do they have to forage for the dinner?
Yes, they have to dig down, grab the worms. No, luckily they have some amazing people from Pallet of Milford to help them have a wonderful meal later.
Yeah,
So,
and Island Lake is a beautiful park.
yeah, and I wasn't so familiar with it coming into this, and it is amazing. The amount of cyclists that we've had to dodge today walking around on the sidewalks has been crazy.
I've driven by it a million times, never came in here. I was here for 15 minutes, called my wife, said, we're bringing the bikes here.
Yeah, it's huge. It's an amazing park. I think because it's a recreation area, you don't think of it as much as a state park, but it's massive.
Now, why did New Holland get into something like this?
Yeah, our whole goal as a brewery is to just create savored moments for people. To be that centerpiece around a table or on a trail or wherever you are with your friends, to create those moments. And we thought, I mean, the state parks are celebrating their 100th anniversary. What better partner to have and what better person to help amplify their message than the state parks, where there's no better place where people have those savored moments with their families or friends. They'll remember it forever.
Perfect.
So we really just wanted to find a way to help amplify that message and get that 100th anniversary campaign out there. So we met with them and thought, let's find some way to make this big. And we brainstormed and said, we're beer, we can have beer, we know how to do a dinner, let's have a dinner and let's get people out to your parks, hiking, people who have never been there before, and have a great day, finish with a nice curated, high-end, like really pristine dinner, and have an experience that no one really could else have at a state park.
And this is all to raise money for one of those incredible action track chairs, which we
Exactly.
talked about earlier in the show.
Yep.
That they'll have right here at Island Lake.
Yep, they'll have it here today, and we have raised enough money with ticket sales for this event to provide that for anyone who wants to come here who might not be able to use the trail in its typical fashion.
Yeah, it's such an incredible resource for somebody who's mobility challenged.
Yep.
I mean, I've seen them in action. Oh my God.
They're pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's like a tank.
So, for you personally, how much fun is this?
It's amazing. I actually teared up at the last one when we were up at Leelanau because I just looked around and I was like, this is amazing. People are just from all over, all walks of life, all different ages, coming together to share one special thing that all of us have in common, which is Michigan's beauty, Michigan's nature. So it was amazing, and we've just had an incredible time. We were at PJ Hoffmaster in Muskegon. We were up at Leelanau State Park, right on the water. And now we're here at Island Lake, and it's just been a really awesome experience that we hope to carry on into the future next year.
Well, thanks for bringing the most important part of any event and any outing, especially in a park, beer.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's gonna be tasty.
Well, sure enough, my ankle got better just in time for all the afternoon's awesome activities. The hike was fascinating, informative, and a great way to work up an appetite. And everyone came ready to rock the trails. What a cool way to make new friends, discover another amazing state park, and at the same time enjoy a gourmet meal along with some Michigan-made brew. Yep, it's just one more way the DNR and Michigan State Parks are reimagining the whole outdoor experience for all of us.
So don't just imagine yourself at a Michigan State Park. Go get your stuff, throw it in the car, and like I said before, get her going. What should you put in the car? Heck, I don't know. I don't know what you like to do.
A visit to the Stalls Automotive Museum will take you back to a time when cars were more than just a way to get around. In addition to beautiful cars, enjoy the collection of gas pumps, road signs, oil cans, and other car-related accessories. Info at stallsauto.com. There's something special about the pride, the skill, and the passion it takes to build something great. The Construction Association of Michigan, CAM, understands that passion and has been providing contractors with the resources they need since 1885.
This episode of Under the Radar Michigan proudly supports the efforts of Kaylee's Cure to help fight paralysis and support those living with spinal cord injuries. For more information or to offer your support, visit kayleescure.org.